Alyssa Walker here at Make Think, and I'm with Roger Martin, who is the Dean of the Rotman School of Management in Toronto, Canada, correct?
That is correct.
And
Alyssa.
this is the old book, unfortunately. We don't have the new book, but why don't you tell us about your old book and your new book?
Sure. The old book is The Opposable Mind, and it was my study of how highly successful leaders think. And what I came to the conclusion of is that there was a common pattern by which they solve problems. And in short, when they face two opposing ideas and think, I got to do either A or B, so say Bob Young, Red Hat, I either have to be kind of open source or I have to be proprietary software. Instead of choosing one versus the other, they come up with a creative resolution. So instead of Bob Young and Red Hat selling CDs with their software on for $15, he made it free, downloadable from the internet, and made all of his money on services, which is like the proprietary software companies make a good amount of their money on. So that was a book where that was the insight, and I give a lot of examples from the various people like Jack Welch and Michael Dell, and Bob Young and Nathan Laffey that I interviewed, and tell people how they can be more of an integrative thinker.
And so then the new book,
The Design of Business.
Design of Business, takes that a step further because you kind of translate this theory to the design world specifically?
Yes, in some sense, what the opposable mind says is that these leaders, instead of choosing one of the existing options, create a new option. The design of business, in some sense, if you want, double clicks on that question as well. How? How exactly do you go about doing it? What is the form of thinking, the steps required to come up with a new idea? And that's what the Design of Business is all about. And it's out officially late October, but apparently Amazon has already got it in stock.
They're so good at that.
Yes, they are. They are.
So I liked from your presentation, it was kind of this sweet spot. You had these two little humps of the analytic thinking and the intuitive thinking, and that little tiny space. Is that going to grow?
Design thinking.
Yeah, it's design thinking. Is that going to grow as more people learn? You know, there's this whole thing about how people need to learn how to design think. Is that going to get bigger and kind of a little small area?
No, that's my hope, Alyssa. And part the book is my own little way of trying to help make that grow by explaining to business people who can grow to think that their job is more about analytical thinking than it should be, than is good for them, to recognize that they need to embrace some aspects of intuitive thinking and move, if you will, from the extremes of analytical thinking to somewhere in the middle, your little middle that wants to grow. But I also want to have the message be to designers. That's one of the reasons why I come to design conferences, not just business conferences, is to encourage designers who can, if they don't think about it, end up being too much in the world of intuitive thinking, kind of knowing without kind of explicit reasoning that makes it hard for them to interact productively with business people who then think that they're
art people stereotype.
That's exactly right, Alyssa. No, and they would use words like that, kooky, and sort of think of them as irresponsible and not careful enough or whatever. So I'd like to see them move to the middle, and I think there's huge opportunities for that middle to expand dramatically, just if both sides understand the other better than they currently do.
And I just want to ask one more thing about your presentation that
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. So you're saying that designers can predict the future.
Designers attempt to predict the future and are sometimes wrong, but are also sometimes very, very right. And what I would argue is that if you have a designer thinking well together with the manager can help edit out the times that maybe they're going a little too crazy, and focus on the times when they have an insight about the future that the manager, the business type, would have never had. And I think that can optimize the performance of a business.
That sounds great. Will you come back next time and talk to us about this again?
I would be delighted to.
Okay.
Anytime.
All right. Thank you so much, Roger.
You're welcome, Alyssa. Take care.